Hi guys, Mr. Levon here, and today I want to talk with you about 5 mistakes to avoid in the college admissions process. So if you guys will follow with me here, I'll make this PowerPoint available for you as well as we talk about it. But these are just a few things that I've seen over the years in essays that you probably don't want to do as you're writing this essay for me. So the first thing that I would say that I see a lot of is telling instead of showing. The first rule of any good writing is show, don't tell. And what do I mean by that? What do I mean that this is a mistake to just tell me something and not show it? Well, first off, if you're saying that you're sad or upset about that, give me evidence to back that up. Tell me about throwing something across your room, or you don't get out of your bed for 3 days because you're so upset about it. Don't just say, I was very upset, I was very sad. Give me some evidence to back it up. That's really the rule that you want to keep in mind, no matter which one of these essay prompts you're trying to write. Don't give me a friend and say, this person gave me some good advice. Give me the actual dialogue. Now, obviously, you may not remember word for word. There's a little bit of leeway in a personal essay where you can put it into that person's voice, even if you don't know those were the exact words. Try to get it as close as possible, but no one's going to go back in time to verify that they used those exact words. So you want to make sure that you include some dialogue, make sure you know how to punctuate it properly and everything. But doing that can be a really effective way to punch up your essay. Don't tell me that you learned something from the experience. Okay, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Maybe your Eagle Week experience on a mission trip was really life-changing. Give me some evidence that it actually changed your life. Talk about how that changed your life afterward. What did you do differently? That's kind of the evidence that we need. So first rule, telling instead of showing, that's a mistake to avoid. Give me the evidence. Next up, don't write this like an academic essay. Writing like an academic essay is, it's a great way to make your essay move to the bottom of the pile. They don't want to read that. College admissions officers don't have time for that type of writing in a personal essay like this. Don't write a standard intro, since the dawn of time, and follow it up with a thesis. That's a clear sign that you don't understand what's being asked for. You need to understand the rhetorical situation here. It is a personal essay and different rules apply. Don't use stilted language or vocabulary. You need to be yourself. Now, having said that, there is sort of a formally informal language that we're going to use. You're not quite writing like you're sending a text to your friend where you can misspell everything and use shortcuts, and it's not that type of stuff. And you're not going to call the college admissions officer bro in your essay, but you don't have to sound like you're trying to write a master's level thesis either. Don't start with a repetition of the prompt. I've seen that a few times already, and that is a clear way to get your admissions counselors to just kind of roll their eyes, because it's not the type of essay that you want to write. So if you've done that, fix it. Don't do that. That's not a good way to start this essay. They know what the prompt is. They've read the prompt. You just need to answer the prompt. Don't tell them what it was. Number 3, don't forget your audience. College admissions officers are professionals. They do this for a living. They've seen a lot of essays. And that does remind me that if you are at all thinking of downloading an essay from the internet, don't. They've read them. They know what they are. You're not going to fool them. It is a waste of your time. Keep in mind that you're writing for college admissions professionals. They don't want you to paint yourself as perfect, but at the same time, don't be constantly downgrading yourself either. Strike that balance that shows that you're aware that you're not a perfect person, that you do have faults, but make sure that you're not just saying that you're incompetent and lazy and giving this. Nobody wants to accept a student who says, oh, I never finish what I start. Talk about how you're working to be better. That's kind of the best way to approach that. Don't repeat things that will be on other parts of your application. Keep in mind that college admissions officers, they have that information already. You don't need to tell them everything again and again in an essay. They've got the idea. Don't repeat that. Not very effective, and it really wastes your word count. Don't drop in things they can't understand without explanation. They haven't been to school with you. If you just throw in that you went somewhere for Eagle Week, okay, I know what that means. You know what that means. They don't know what Eagle Week is. You've got to at least give a little bit of evidence, a little bit of explanation about what that means. The same is true for the classes that you're taking or any of those school-specific details. They might not know that you're on a block schedule. They might not know that we're a Christian school. So you'll have to explain some of those things in order to make it clear. Don't write a generic essay. Number 4, a generic essay is almost worse than no essay at all. And I've actually seen this happen a number of times. Someone has written me an essay, and I could literally go in and just change the word football to softball, change a couple of nouns, and the essay is exactly the same. If your essay can be anybody else's essay, then you're not really meeting your goal. One of the ways that you can make your essay better is by including proper nouns, specific details, dialogue. That makes it uniquely yours. If Uncle Fred tells you something and you quote him the way he always talks, nobody else has an Uncle Fred quite like yours. So make your essay less generic by making it more specific. And avoid cliches. It's so easy because it's what we're comfortable doing. But when you do that, you're wasting good opportunities to be unique, wasting good opportunities to be creative, and basically saying to whoever's reading your essay, I'm going to take the shortest, easiest way, rather than trying to come up with something that is creative and effective. You're basically signifying that you're a lazy writer. Don't do that. One big problem that a lot of people have is failing to revise. You've got to approach this as something that is going to go through multiple drafts. You have to spend some time on this, but keep in mind that revision is not just proofreading. You're not just fixing grammar or spelling. Revision means that you're moving things around in your essay. You're deleting a paragraph that doesn't really belong. You're combining two things into one thought. You're providing more supporting detail. You have to be willing to revise and make some substantial changes in your essay if you really want to get the best essay you can. Try to avoid those obvious grammar and spelling mistakes. This is something that you're going to be going over multiple times. So having misspelled words is especially egregious. It shows laziness. So don't do that. And take your time. You don't want to try doing this at the last minute. You've got months and months to make this a really great essay. So do a little bit and a little bit and a little bit. Don't push yourself by postponing it until the very end. People who do that make their college admissions process a lot more stressful than it really needs to be. And who wants that? Finally, just some good advice that you didn't ask for, but I'm going to share it with you. Yes, this essay does matter, but it is only one part in the overall application process. Grades matter, tests matter, SATs, ACTs. Extracurriculars matter, whether they're in school or out of school. Your service hours, if you're attending a school that requires an interview, all of that is one part of the holistic picture that schools are looking for. The essay for you may not be the most important thing, but it is one way that you have complete control over, that you can completely control what they see. And that's something that you don't get with your SATs. You don't get that with your grades. So taking the time to do well in the essay is a way of controlling some part of the process. So that's one of the reasons that I do encourage you to spend time on this. Keep in mind, though, that only the most competitive schools really care a lot about the essay. There are some schools for whom the essay is almost a formality, and it would only come into play if you were kind of on the bubble for admissions anyway. So if you know that the school you're applying to really doesn't care that much about the essay, well, maybe you need to put your time into some other things. On the other hand, if you're applying to a really competitive school, now is the time to go ahead and start polishing and perfecting this essay so that you can do all the other stuff that you need to do. And remember, they sometimes have additional essays that you'll have to write. And so if you get this done now, it gives you more time later in the process. Keep in mind that they're reviewing a lot of candidates. So a really well-written essay can sometimes be the thing that they remember. For my own son, writing a good college essay actually made a difference in his application process. It was something that they remembered. I know this because I've talked to the admissions officers about that. So remembering you is a way that you can make your essay really effective. Make an essay that paints a picture of you so that when they leave and they're talking about you in a group meeting, they remember what you wrote in your essay and it really stands out to them. Those are just a few of the things that I think could be helpful with you in the video. I hope that you guys will continue to send me your drafts and ask me your questions. I'm really enjoying being able to help you with that. And I look forward to seeing the essays that you guys come up with. Have a great day.